This fight right here was the funniest fight I've ever seen. Artem versus Denys. Very funny fight. Before I get into the breakdown of this fight, hit the thumbs up, sub, and hit the notification bell. That way you get updated when I drop the newest content like this. And don't forget, without hitting that bell, it doesn't mean much to sub because you'll never get updated. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now, guys, to my MMA fans who like MMA, this may not be the video for you. This is not a shot at y'all. This is just a shot at the MMA community who was boosting up Artem Lobov like he was the next coming, the best thing. He was the GOAT of MMA because of his fight with Paulo Malignaggi, which I thought he lost. So this is a disclaimer before I get into this. This video is going to reflect very negatively towards MMA. So again, if you are a big fan, if you're a sub of mine and you like MMA, this is your time to click off. With that being said, round two. Let's get into the video. Let me tell y'all something. This fight right here was embarrassing. Where you see Artem, where you see him leaning over right there, having his back consoled like he's a little child. That was the whole story of the fight. He fought like a child. He looked like a toddler winging shots at his parent, and Denys being the parent. I'm telling y'all. So this was bare knuckle boxing, okay? This was not legitimate boxing, but we all know that Denys is an active fighter. He's 15-0, and his last one was over Jose Sanchez. So he's still an active boxer. He's at the lightweight division, 135. He's on the come up, and, you know, he's an Olympian. So very good boxer, very technical boxer, but he has not reached the elite level of boxing yet. He is working his way there, but you cannot say that he's up there with the best of them. He's not up there with Lomachenko at this point in time stage of his career, but he is very good. Now, Artem, I guess this dude thought because of the poly thing and all the people who were big up and I'm talking about, yeah, he's the GOAT. Boxers can't keep up with us, blah, 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 blah. All that bullshit they were saying, but they didn't want to say that Poly had been retired for years. They didn't want to say that Poly actually outboxed him for the first 2 rounds with 2 broken hands. They wanted to disregard all of that. So here we go. This is the first time this active MMA fighter / bare knuckle fighter, he's active, not retired, this active fighter fought an active boxer in bare knuckle boxing, all right? We got to see 2 active guys, not a has-been, because at that time, Polly, you were a has-been. Not a has-been, but 2 guys who are actively fighting fight. And what did we find out? MMA fighters have no fucking idea how to throw punches. They have no fucking idea what to do in there against a technical boxer. This dude, like I said at the beginning, he looked like a child just winging shots because he was crying in the fight at his father, and the father's just sitting there watching him laughing because Denys was laughing at him in the fight. and Artem had 0 adaptability. Now, to give y'all an idea of how bad this fight was for Artem, right? He probably landed 4 strikes in the entire 4 rounds that it lasted. It was scheduled for 5. Now, to my boxing fans out there, don't think that this was 3-minute rounds. Artem was surviving. Oh, no, 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 no. In bare knuckle boxing, they fight like female boxers. They only go for 2-minute rounds. So we're talking about this fight only went on for a total of 8 minutes. Not even a complete 3 rounds by boxing rules. 8 minutes is all Artem could do. It's all he could last. He quit. He gave up. He was looking down on them sandbags, shaking his head, reassessing his whole entire life because to get back to the point that I was saying, he only landed 4 strikes in all 8 minutes of fighting. In all 4 rounds, he only probably landed 4 strikes. And I say strikes because he threw a kick that did land. He threw a little leg kick at the end of, I can't remember if it was round 3 or round 4. Who cares? He gave up. But the fact is, he only landed 3 punches and 1 leg kick. And that's what I'm talking about. Artem did what you see MMA fighters do that gives me anxiety and drives me crazy. He would be from distance at range and try to do leaping hooks or he would run in throwing hooks or run in throwing straights. And Denys would just back step, watch him, and bop, counter shot, move, bop, counter shot. Artem didn't even know how to bob and weave. You had Denys that was getting close to him going up and under, bobbing and weaving, slipping, hitting him with shots to the body, shots to the head. And Artem couldn't even take the shots. Every time he was getting hit cleanly, it was hurting him badly. And he retired after this fight too. So MMA people, this is your GOAT? This is your king? This is your king? Denys, you did a very good job. You looked very impressive, and you showed the flaws that MMA fighters have. And again, if this would have been an MMA bout, would it have played out this way if Artem could have been able to kick, wrestle, whatever? I don't know. But what I can tell you is, in bare knuckle boxing, they do clinch. And you have open hands just like in an octagon. And when they were in the clinch, probably 80% of the clinches were being controlled by Denys, not Artem, who's used to wrestling. Denys was actually controlling him in the pocket, in the clinch, and still hitting him, while Artem was just looking clueless and had no offense, no defense. There was nothing he could do. Again, I have to come back full circle to what I said at the beginning. He looked like a child. And this is a GOAT? Where are all the MMA people talking about this fight? Where are y'all at? Where y'all at? Y'all were all out there throwing parades in the streets, kissing each other because he beat Paulo Malignaggi in a fight that he shouldn't have won. Y'all was there. Y'all was celebrating for him. Y'all was hitting up Twitter posts all over the place, YouTube videos all over the place talking about how good this guy is. Well, where y'all at now? Whatever, this dude couldn't even land more than 3 punches on a current active boxer who's not retired. Where y'all at now? Where's y'all Twitter tweets at now? Where your little Twitter fingers? Fact of the matter is, like Jake Paul is exposing and going to expose, these fighters do not know how to box. They are amateurish at best. In fact, I would guarantee you in a boxing setting, whether it be bare knuckle like this or in a boxing ring, I guarantee you a guy with more than 20 amateur fights would destroy the most elite level of MMA fighters in boxing. Now, again, notice what I'm saying, in boxing. I'm not saying that per se means that they would beat them in the octagon, because the MMA fighters very well may win if you put them in the octagon with a boxer. I'm not saying that. We just saw Clarissa Shields get her first win in MMA, but it was rough against a fighter who really wasn't good. It was real rough for her, but she grinded it out. Job well done. She won. My only point is this. A lot of these guys, they don't know how to punch. They don't know how to box. They don't know how to close the distance. They don't know how to set up punches. They don't know how to feint. They're completely clueless when it comes to the hand game. And when Jake Paul knocks out Woodley, and this is a guy who hasn't even fought a professional fighter, professional boxer, like some people want to say in Jake Paul. This is a guy who hasn't even been up there with the lowest level of professional boxers or the lowest level of amateur boxers. And that's my point. My point is this. That shit that works in the octagon will never work in a boxing ring. It won't. You're not going to fight any boxer with any type of knowledge that's going to sit there and allow you to hit him when you're jumping from a distance, winging shots. It's not going to happen. And that's what Artem learned. And Artem quit after the 4th round. He didn't want to continue. In fact, it didn't even look like he wanted to come out after the 3rd round was over. But his corner pushed him to continue, and he just got battered for the rest of the 4th round. Had these been 3-minute rounds, I don't even know. I don't even know if he would have made it this far. But being that they were 2-minute rounds, it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. I know I was a little harsh, a little hard, but I find it hilarious that this guy is the GOAT. And all these MMA fucking fans who wanted to trash on Polly, they're silent. They went ghost. And we're talking about a boxer who's not even a world champion yet. Well, I think he had an intercontinental belt. I think that's what he's won. But he's not won one of the major 4 titles. We're talking about a boxer who hasn't even won one of the major 4 titles. Just completely embarrassed Artem. Embarrassed him, outclassed him, made the dude quit because he rethought his whole fucking career. He rethought, you could see it whenever he was shaking his head side to side and he was double over crying in the middle of the fight. You could see it. You could see that he got the fight beat out of him. You could see it. That the fire that once was in his heart and his soul got extinguished, and you could see him thinking about everything that he thought he knew. He found out real quickly he did not know. He is not on any type of level of being good in a boxing setting. So that's all I really got to say. We all know bare knuckle boxing is where MMA fighters go to die. It's where they go after retirement. But this fight right here proved that these dudes, they can't compete. They just cannot compete. Can a boxer compete in MMA? Yeah, we've seen him compete in MMA. We saw Ray Mercer knock out Tim Silva, who was the UFC heavyweight champion. We saw Holly Holmes knock out Ronda Rousey, who was their greatest fighter ever, who MMA community said could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a fight. Ronda could, but then yet Holly kicked her in the head and she couldn't take it. We've seen now Clarissa Shields cross over, and even though it was not a good fighter that she beat, she won. So yes, boxers can have success in MMA. Can they beat a world champion in MMA inside of an octagon? I don't know. I know Ray Mercer did it with very limited MMA. I don't know. All I do know is that these MMA fighters cannot compete inside of a boxing ring or a boxing octagon surrounded by sandbags. Any form of boxing where boxing is the only rule set, only style, they cannot compete. And it's just as simple as that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Y'all have a good day. I left this out, my bad. The referee had to give Artem 2 standing 8 counts because he was getting beat up so bad. On that note, I'm actually out.